good morning, everyone. Who am I here with?
Bria Sheely.
And what award did you win at the Poetry Slam?
I won the Performance Award.
And how long did it take for you to write and memorize your poem?
Probably about 2 weeks.
Was it hard?
Not very.
Okay. Would you say that the Poetry Slam is like fun and beneficial for students?
Yes, I think that it was a good experience to have and that, yeah.
That's good. And would you say like 8th grade is like a good like time to do it? Like a good age level?
Yeah, I think that it was hard for me to come up with an idea, but then when I started writing, it was good. So I think it was a good time to do the Poetry Slam.
Okay, great. And did you enjoy it?
Yeah, and I think a lot of other people did too.
That's great. And do you write other poetry like on your own, like on the side?
No.
Was this
poetry.
Was it like your first time writing poetry, or have you done it before?
I've written poetry, but this is like my first time that I enjoyed it.
Okay, that's good. And what was your poem about?
It was called One Day, and it was about like your life experiences and growing up.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Bria Sheely, and this is One Day. One day, you'll wake up, and everything will be different. Your dad won't be in the kitchen making you breakfast, and your mom will be standing next to him, coffee in hand. One day, you'll wake up, and your brother won't be on the couch, watching TV with your sister. The house will be quiet, the kind of horrifying quiet that keeps you awake at night. One day, you'll wake up, and you won't remember the time you tripped going up the stairs at school. You won't remember that embarrassing time you struck out in the second game of the season. That all won't matter anymore. One day, you'll wake up and you'll be hit by the tsunami of responsibility. You'll realize that your dad won't be there to help you with that project, and your mom won't be there to help you with your real-life homework. You'll have to do it yourself, independently, something you might not have totally experienced before. One day, you'll wake up and you'll have your own house. You'll have to make your own dinner, do your own laundry, clean your own home, provide for your own family. One day, you'll wake up and wonder why you didn't take the chance, risk the consequences, chase the dream. You'll wonder where all the time went and if you can ever get it back. One day, you'll wake up and you'll think about that huge curveball life threw at you. But that curveball, that obstacle, is just one little bump in the road. The road that will lead you to a beautiful sunset. The kind you just want to sit and watch till it's gone. One day, you'll wake up and you'll realize that you're growing older. You'll know where you want to go with your life. And you'll think back to the olden days, the golden days, the lazy days, and the crazy days. The days that make up your memories. One day, you'll wake up and you'll want to go back to those days. But you'll realize that they'll always be with you. They are what make you. One day will become today, the past to the present. The seasons will change, the leaves will come and go. So keep the past, think about the future, but always appreciate today. Thank you.
Yes. Look, I'll kiss you, Savannah. Here. Oh yeah, I just hold mine. You could just set it in your lap and then clip this part up on, like, your zipper will be perfect for your sweater, like right there.
Richard, make sure you clip yours, on that side. And Jordan, move yours over that.
Okay. Yeah.
Richard, make sure yours is on.
Yep. Now I know what's on.
He'll check it, just the top button, it'll be like green.
Yep.
It's
Testing 1, 2, 3.
okay. Mr. Mack, if I have my questions here, how should I can I just hold them here and glance down? Okay.
People know, people read off. Just don't feel like,
And you,
look, read your question and then say it.
okay. And you placed first, right? Just
Yeah.
make sure. Okay. Okay, first introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Richard Jolozowski, and I'm the Poetry Slam 2025 champion.
How did you feel placing first? Did you expect it?
Not particularly. The people put up a good fight, but I'm happy I won.
Yeah. What made you think of writing your specific poem?
I wanted to do it about censorship and how okay.
No, you're
can you
fine.
just
Well,
read it?
we're gonna edit everything out. So.
Yeah. All right. Just how important topics are heavily monitored and restricted, especially in online spaces, and
Yeah.
other things like that.
Do you enjoy Mr. Haynes' English class?
Yeah, I would say so.
And specifically the poetry unit. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
What was your walk-up song and why?
Mine was The Price is Right. I picked that one originally because I couldn't think of a better one, but then it kind of fit within the themes of capitalism and a restriction in the poem, so it worked out.
Were you nervous to perform in front of so many people?
Not really. I expected that would be a lot more nervous, but it kind of came naturally to me.
Yeah. And I remember from our 8th grade year, Mr. Haynes does a good job making like a comfortable environment for
Right,
everyone.
yes.
And the other kids are so supportive as well.
Right.
What are your hobbies or interests outside of school?
I like illustration and drawing and all that.
Nice. Did you memorize your poem?
Yes, I did.
How long did that take?
Surprisingly a short amount of time, around 30 minutes, I would say.
And which one of your peers wrote your favorite poem?
Which one of my peers wrote my favorite poem? I'm gonna have to say the runner-up, Anthony Jacobs. His poem was really funny.
Nice. Thank you, Richard.
Yep. Hello, I'm Richard Jolozowski, and this is my poem entitled Bees. I'm plunged into the sea by you, where shushed as youth were stuck like glue. The truth is sleuth, but groups are cooped. We cut the meat for you to chew, and seeping through your fingers blue sand, tipping truth to tripping too, for me and you, for you and who? Doesn't leave me flattered, for people's clothes are much too tattered. Clear to see it's not for me and not for he and not for she, yet all animals are equal. Is someone more equal than others? At heart we're brothers with one mean green mother. Present tense and tense on tense, no wonder why we're mad, and hence our problems receive exacerbation. All lands in a farm under a sickly sad nation, and recent events I could be sensing that certain countries could be tensing, and what I think could be commencing is a violent act of ethnic cleanse. Integrating yourself into legislature is part of primal human nature. Mind your own and stay in your place. Problems with problems in the human race. Hive mind hard, but not ruled out. Break loose if the people shout. If you instigate these thoughts, then they'll realize what they've got. Could it be it's clear to see the oligarchs are scared of me? Bees can carry their weight just fine, but they listen to orders from the queen of the hive. Pheromones and nothing more. What we have is what's in store. Could it be it's clear to see that are we be no more than bees? Constant work will circumvent. Make sure that our message sent. Nothing else can make tears seep like a polar bear with grass stuck in its teeth. Thinking is all you do. Don't you spot the gorgeous hues? Instead of being so profound, enjoy nostalgic nature sounds. And when your earphones finally die, you don't have to go and try. There's a button you can press that turns your thoughts to games of chess. Move your hand, knight to F3, and the end chop livers all you'll be. May the end times never come, washed away with morning suns.
3 or 4.
Okay. My name is Tammy Altman, and here is the host of the Poetry Slam, Mr. Haynes. Introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Mr. Haynes, thanks for having me on.
Okay, so we are going to be asking him some questions about the Poetry Slam. The first question is, what year was the first Poetry Slam held, and what inspired you to start the Poetry Slam?
So this is my 15th year teaching at Tri-Valley, believe it or not, and we actually did the Poetry Slam my very first year here. We brought it in a very small capacity we were just in the theater still, but a very small audience. But it really started even before that. I taught 4 years at a school previously, and I did the poetry slam there. But even before that, I was student teaching, and this is sort of my inspiration for it. And I was lucky enough to see a group of 10th graders put on a poetry slam. I was just able to watch it, and that was really my inspiration. I saw it, I'm like, wow, this is absolutely amazing. I have to bring this to my own classroom. So that's why I started with 8th graders, and it's been going strong ever since.
I love that. That's very valid,
Thanks.
of course. Have you always been interested in poetry?
Honestly, no. When I was a student, I disliked it. I probably didn't like it much at all, but I didn't really understand poetry at the time. Didn't realize that poetry can really be anything. It doesn't have to be a specific structure or form. It's just getting your thoughts on a paper, and it provides so much freedom that I love it now. And I think and I hope that I allow my students to enjoy it just as much as I do now.
We do.
Thanks.
We do, of course. Do you have a favorite poem?
I absolutely do. So my favorite poem in the world is called What Teachers Make. It's by my favorite poet. His name is Taylor Mali. It talks all about teachers and the importance we have, so it is my all-time favorite poem.
Nice. What's your favorite part about the Poetry Slam?
My favorite part about the Poetry Slam is without a doubt seeing my students get up there on stage. Start the year off, I tell them, here's what we're going to do. I ask them to raise their hands. How many of you have 0% chance of getting up there? And almost every kid says, there's no way I will ever do it. And we build confidence throughout the year, we practice, and to see that moment with that audience out there, with the spotlight just on them, to see them perform is an incredibly, incredibly proud moment for me. Honestly, I'm a little biased, but it's my favorite event of the year, and that's because I get to see the hard work my students put in, really see it come to fruition up on the stage.
Yeah, and I know that it helps people with public speaking doing this too throughout the year.
I teach public speaking for 12th graders, and my seniors will still come in and reference the Poetry Slam as a big moment for them with public speaking. So that's cool to hear.
Right.
It's cool to hear.
Do you think there are any good elements of a poem?
I think there are a lot of good elements to a poem. You know,
That makes it like a good poem?
Yeah, we study literary terms, we study different types of poems, different ways to write poems, but I think the best element of a poem is making sure you always bring yourself into that poem. You know, there's ways to rhyme, there's ways to structure things, but ultimately you write a poem how you want to write a poem. As long as a piece of yourself is in that poem, to me, that's what makes a poem really, really good.
Right, that's true. Do you have any favorite guest poets from the previous years?
We've had so many guest poets over the years that I've loved. I've honestly loved them all. I mean, Mr. Pact was fantastic this year. I remember Mr. Morey came some years back and had this big scroll he unrolled, you know, pretending he had this really long poem. Mr. Eckhoff did it years and years ago. His poem was fantastic. Miss Guild, Mr. Poley. We had so many great guest poets over the years. I've honestly loved them all. And looking forward to brainstorming who will be next year's guest poet.
Good, I love that. Now, I know you wrote a poem, so will you, I know you have one, so would you be willing to read yours for us?
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely done some poetry writing in my time, a bunch of poems. Someday I hope to do something with them, we'll see, but I did bring one here today to read. Sunday is Mother's Day, and this is a poem I wrote to my mom, so I want to read this, and I want to dedicate it to all the mothers out there.
Okay.
So it's called, There's More Than One Way to Start a Fire. My mom is a wonderful woman, without a doubt, one of the most amazing women I've ever known. And I guess it is from my mother that I picked up so many of my obsessive, compulsive behaviors. Obsessions that drive others absolutely insane. One thing my mom is not is a pyromaniac. She is simply obsessed with fire. When she is not home or is sleeping, the dryer is not allowed to be running in case, as my mother always reminds me, it gets too hot, it sparks, and starts a fire. During the hot 90-degree summers in New York, fans are not allowed to be running if she is not in the house. There is the chance, she always reminds me, that the fan could fall over, the motor could get hot, and it could start a fire. Even the treadmill, the machine I use when feeling ambitious, runs the risk of catching fire, at least according to my mom. How many times have I gone to get on the treadmill to find it unplugged from the wall? It can, as my mother has frequently reminded me, get hot, send an electrical impulse up the cord, and start a fire. Once, when I was a teenager, my mother was snooping through something she shouldn't have been, an invitation I had to a party. She bent over to pick it up when suddenly her hair, full of hairspray, fell into a lit candle. As she sat back up, there was a long moment while my brother and I stared at each other, incapable of speech, when she did not even realize that her hair was on fire. Have you ever witnessed a 40-something-year-old woman's hair crackling like pine needles in a fire? A 40-something-year-old woman go running down the hall screaming? A 40-something-year-old woman who is okay, save the embarrassment? I have, and let me tell you, it is quite the sight. My mother has spent so much time trying to prevent fires that I don't even think she realizes how many fires she's lit in her life. And I'm not talking about her hair. But I am talking about the fire she's lit inside me. The fire to always treat others with respect. The fire to be a good person. The fire to work my hardest to make this world a better place. You are my fire, Mom, the person who inspires the passion inside of me, the person who never allowed my fire to be put out, but instead encouraged it to spread. Thank you, Mom, for being so obsessed with fire. You better believe that I share this obsession every single day of my life. Thank you.
I love that.
Thanks.
How long did that take you to take? Make?
I don't know, a couple different drafts. I sat down. So I actually gave it to her gift a couple years back on Mother's Day. So I
love
printed up in a
that.
nice.
I love that a
So,
lot.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you all. It's an honor to be here.
Wait. Sorry, hold on. Wait, are we allowed to cut this out, Jordan? I can't hear you. What'd you say? Is there anything you'd like to share personally about the Poetry Slam?
Just that it's great seeing high school kids come back every year. I love having them in the audience, like to see the kids perform every year, so I will continue to encourage that to happen. Everyone who supports it, I really, really appreciate it. It wouldn't be successful without everyone else who helps make it successful.
All right, thank you for being with us today. I really appreciate you being here, and I love your poem, and yeah.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.